face and the way that I dress. I let you think you know me well in your head and you find out from what the internet tells you, but I promise underneath this shell there's so much more than you could ever know. Without no rain, it's no rainbows. I've seen pain, I know love. I might be young, but I know enough to know we're all beautiful.
Hey Chella Bellas, my name is Kayla Parks, Director of Education for Chella, and I am joined with our model Kim. And we are going to show you how to brow in 3 easy steps with our fill, define, and highlight. Starting with Kim's brows, she's got a great natural shape to her brows. They're nice and full, but we just want to define them a little bit more. So for our step 1, we're going to use the eyebrow pencil in the shade Auburn with short hair-like strokes all the way through the arch to tail, and then lightly fade it through the front of the brow. The brow pencil, it's super fine. You can get really nice, precise strokes with it, and you can blend it out with the spoolie. For step 2, we're going to define the brows. We're going to brush all the hairs up and then touch the tops over to give that nice lifted look to her brow. In step 3, we're going to use our highlighter pencil. So that highlighter pencil goes all the way below the brow, above the arch to tail, and this is great because if you had accidentally made any mistakes, you're able to clean that up with the highlighter. Gives that nice lifted look, super pretty, very natural, but a lot more defined. And doesn't that auburn shade just look stunning on Kim? It looks so great. Her brows look so much fuller, nice and lifted. And that brow pencil, there's no need to sharpen it. It's retractable, buildable, vegan, cruelty-free, paraben-free, and gluten-free. Now we're going to begin with Kylie's brows. She's got a little bit of sparseness in her brows. They're still nice and full though, so we just want to enhance it. So we're going to use the eyebrow cream in the shade Deep Brown, picking up a little bit of product and then wiping off the excess on the side of the pot because a little bit goes a long way. Do short hair-like strokes all the way through the arch to tail, and then brush upwards in the front of the brow and keep the front nice and light and natural, and then get gradually darker to the arch to tail. Now step 2 is to define. So taking our eyebrow gel, brushing her hairs up and then touching the tops over, keeps the hairs in place and gives that little bit extra lift. And step 3, we're going to take the highlighter pencil in the shade Dark, apply it all the way below her brow, and then just above the arch to tail. This will clean up her brows, give her that extra lift, keep her brows nice and full looking. And we're blending that in with a dual blending brush. And look at that, her brows look stunning, so much fuller, a lot more lift to her eye, and that brow cream, it doesn't smudge on you, it's buildable and water resistant, so it's gonna stay in place all day. Beginning with Cheyenne's brows, she's got a little bit more sparseness in the arch to tail, and they're a little bit lighter. So we're gonna go ahead and do the brow pencil for our step 1, which is to fill, taking that eyebrow pencil all the way through the arch to tail in short hair-like strokes and then fading it through the front of the brow. We're using the shade Medium Brown for Cheyenne, which is a nice cool tone shade. Taking the eyebrow defining gel, brushing the hairs in an upward motion, and then touching to the tops over. This keeps them in place all day. It keeps them looking nice and full, kind of gives you that fluffy brow effect without having to do too much work. And then we're going to take our step 3, which is to highlight. We can highlight all the way below the brow and then just above the arch to tail in the shade Medium, carving that out with our dual blending brush. And it's super easy to work with. It's a very creamy highlighter that stays in place too. And look at her brows. Doesn't it look stunning? It's so much fuller, a lot more lift to the brows, and it really opens up her eyes, gives her that extra definition she's looking for, and really enhances them. And that brow gel, you can use it with or without pencil. It's a very natural effect. It's not too thick or stiff, and it keeps the hairs in place. For Azur's brows, we can tell she's got a little bit more sparseness in the arch to tail. So we definitely want to use brow cream because that's going to adhere to the skin and the hairs and really give her that shape she's looking for. So we're going to start with her arch and kind of carve that out with the cream, fill it in, and then lightly fade it through the front of the brow. So really easy product to work with and definitely buildable. It could look natural or more dramatic. Then we're taking our eyebrow defining gel, sweeping the hairs in an upward motion, and then brushing the tops over. And then we take our highlighter pencil, and this highlighter pencil we're using the shade Light, and we're going to take this to carve out all the way below the brows, which really helps clean up any mistakes we may have made, and also above the arch to tail. And the highlighter can be used in different areas of the face, so it can be used on the nose, the cupid's bow, inner corner of the eye, as a concealer, wherever you prefer to use it. That highlighter pencil is great for that because it's super creamy and blendable. And oh my gosh, look at her brows. What a difference that makes. It makes it so much fuller and lifted, and the highlighter pencil really helped carve them out and make it perfect because it's very creamy and blendable and multifunctional. Now for Mary's brows, she's got a little bit more sparseness in the arch to tail, but we definitely want to enhance that area. And we're going to use our eyebrow pencil in the shade Ebony because she naturally has that black hair. And we want to just enhance her brows lightly. And it's gonna still look natural. We start in the arch to tail, we kind of go into those sparse areas, then we fade it through the front of the brow. Then we take our step 2, which is to define, brush all the hairs up, and you can touch the longer hairs over. This really keeps them in place all day. And then we take that highlighter pencil all the way below the brow and then above that arch to tail. And then to really carve out that brow, watch this dual blending brush. You get that nice and stiff and straight line up front, and then it really curves with the arch of your brow to help do a lot of the work for you. So definitely grab one of these dual blending brushes whenever you're trying to perfect that arch of the brow. Look at that, it's absolutely stunning. Her brows look so much fuller. And that dual blending brush really perfected the highlighter and blending it out. It's super multifunctional as well. You can use it anywhere on the face to blend things out. For Alicia's brows, she has a little bit of permanent makeup on, but we're still gonna go ahead and enhance her brows with the 3 steps, using the brow cream at first and the light brown. It's nice and golden in shade. We apply this to the arch to tail, and then we can gradually fade it through the front, still keeping it nice and natural. And this product is water resistant, so it's really gonna stay on her brows all day long. We take our eyebrow defining gel, we sweep this through the brow hairs, brushing them in an upward motion, touching the tops over, and this gives you that perfect lifted brow. And then we take that highlighter pencil all the way below the brow, above the arch to tail. And this highlighter pencil is super easy to blend out using that dual blending brush again to carve out that arch. Dual blending brush really saves the day when we're trying to carve out the arch. We love it. And look at that, her brows look beautiful, nice and naturally enhanced, so much fuller, so much more youthful. We love it, opens up her eyes. And thank you everyone for joining us today. Make sure you follow us at Chella Beauty and go to chella.com to review any of our products.